Sonnet 45. The other two, slight air and purging fire, are both with thee wherever I abide. The first my thought, the other my desire. These present absent with swift motion slide. For when these quicker elements are gone, in tender embassy of love to thee, my life, being made of four, with two alone, sinks down to death, oppressed with melancholy, until life's composition be recured by those swift messengers returned from thee, who even but now come back again assured of thy fair health, recounting it to me. This told I joy, but then, no longer glad, I send them back again and straight grow sad.
Sonnet 46. Mine eye and heart are at a mortal war, how to divide the conquest of thy sight. Mine eye, my heart, thy picture's sight would bar, my heart, mine eye, the freedom of that right. My heart doth plead that thou in him dost lie, a closet never pierced with crystal eyes. But the defendant doth that plea deny, and says in him thy fair appearance lies. To cite this title is impennelled, a quest of thoughts, all tenants to the heart, and by their verdict is determined the clear eye's moiety and the dear heart's part, as thus, mine eyes' due is thy outward part, and my heart's right thy inward love of heart.
Sonnet 47. Betwixt mine eye and heart a league is took, and each doth good turns now unto the other. When that mine eye is famished for a look, or heart in love with sights himself doth smother, with my love's picture then my eye doth feast, and to the painted banquet bids my heart. Another time mine eye is my heart's guest, and in his thoughts of love doth share a part. So, either by thy picture or my love, thyself away are present still with me, for thou no farther than my thoughts canst move, and I am still with them, and they with thee. Or if they sleep, thy picture in my sight awakes my heart to heart's and eye's delight.
Sonnet 48. How careful was I when I took my way, each trifle under truest bars to thrust, that to my use it might unused stay, from hands of falsehood in sure words of trust. But thou, to whom my jewels trifles are most worthy comfort, now my greatest grief, thou best of dearest and mine only care, art left the prey of every vulgar thief. Thee have I not locked up in any chest, save where thou art not, though I feel thou art, within the gentle closure of my breast, from whence at pleasure thou mayst come and part. And even thence thou wilt be stolen, I fear, for truth proves thievish from a price so dear.
Sonnet 49. Against that time, if ever that time come, when I shall see thee frown on my defects, when as thy love hath cast his utmost sum, call to that audit by advised respects. Against that time, when thou shalt strangely pass, and scarcely greet me with that sun thy eye, when love, converted from the thing it was, shall reasons find of settled gravity. Against that time do I ensconce me here, within the knowledge of mine own desert, and this my hand against myself a prayer, to guard the lawful reasons on thy part, to live for me thou hast the strength of laws, since why to love I can allege no cause.
Sonnet 50. How heavy do I journey on the way, when what I seek, my weary travel sent, doth teach that ease and that repose to say, thus far the miles are measured from thy friend. The beast that bears me, tired with my woe, plods dully on, to bear that weight in me, as if by some instinct the wretch did know his rider loved not speed, being made from thee. The bloody spur cannot provoke him on, that sometimes anger thrusts into his hide, which heavily he answers with a groan, more sharp to me than spurring to his side. For that same groan doth put this in my mind, my grief lies onward, and my joy behind.
Sonnet 51. Thus can my love excuse the slow offence of my dual bearer, when from thee I speed? From where thou art, why should I haste me thence? Till I return, of posting is no need. Oh, what excuse will my poor beast then find, when swift extremity can seem but slow? Then should I spur, thou mountain on the wind, in wicked speed no motion shall I know. Then can no horse with my desire keep pace, therefore desire of perfect love being made, shall neigh no dull flesh in his fiery race, but love, for love, thus shall excuse my jade. Since from thee going he went wilful slow, towards thee I'll run, and give him leave to go.
Sonnet 52. So am I as the rich whose blessed key can bring him to his sweet uplocked treasure, the which he will not every hour survey, for blunting the fine point of seldom pleasure. Therefore are feasts so solemn and so rare, since seldom coming in the long year set, like stones of worth they thinly placed are, or captain jewels in the carcanet. So is the time that keeps you as my chest, or as the wardrobe which the robe doth hide, to make some special instant special blessed, by new unfolding his imprisoned pride. Blessed are you, whose worthiness gives scope, being had to triumph, being lacked to hope.
Sonnet 53. What is your substance, whereof are you made, that millions of strange shadows on you tend? Since every one hath, every one shade, and you, but one, can every shadow lend. Describe a novice, and the counterfeit is poorly imitated after you. On Helen's cheek all art of beauty set, and you in Grecian tires are painted new. Speak of the spring and foison of the year, the one doth shadow of your beauty show, the other as your bounty doth appear, and you in every blessed shape we know. In all external grace you have some part, but you like none, none you, for constant heart.
Sonnet 54. Oh, how much more doth beauty seem by that sweet ornament which truth doth give. The rose looks fair, but fairer we deem for that sweet odour which doth in it live. The canker blooms have full as deep a dye as the perfumed tincture of the roses. Hang on such thorns and play as wantonly when summer's breath their masked buds discloses. But for their virtue only is their show, they live unwooed and unrespected fade, die to themselves. Sweet roses do not so, of their sweet deaths are sweetest odours made. And so of you, beauteous and lovely youth, when that shall fade, my verse distills your truth.
Sonnet 55. Not marble nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than on swept stone besmeared with sluggish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his word, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. Against death and all oblivious enmity shall your pace forth, your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. So till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this, and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Sonnet 56. Sweet love, renew thy force. Be it not said thy edge should blunter be thine appetite, which but to-day by feeding is allayed, to-morrow sharpened in his former might. So, love, be thou, although to-day thou fill thy hungry eyes, even till they wink with fullness, to-morrow see again, and do not kill the spirit of love with a perpetual dullness. Let this sad interim like the ocean be which parts the shore where two contracted new come daily to the banks, that, when they see return of love, more blessed may be the view. Or call it winter, which being full of care, makes summer's welcome thrice more wished, more rare.
Sonnet 57. Being your slave, what should I do but tend upon the hours and times of your desire? I have no precious time at all to spend, nor services to do till you require. Nor dare I chide the world without end hour, whilst I, my sovereign, watch the clock for you, nor think the bitterness of absence hour, when you have bid your servant once adieu. Nor dare I question with my jealous thought, where you may be, or your affair supposed, but, like a sad slave, stay and think of naught, save where you are how happy you make those. So true a fool is love, that in your will, though you do anything, he thinks no ill.
Sonnet 58. That God forbid, that made me first your slave, I should in thought control your times of pleasure, or at your hand the account of hours to crave. being your vessel bound to stay your leisure. Oh, let me suffer, being at your beck, the imprisoned absence of your liberty, and patience tamed to sufferance, bite each cheek without accusing you of injury. Be where you list, your charter is so strong that you yourself may privilege your time to what you will. To you it doth belong yourself to pardon of self-doing crime. I am to wait, though waiting so be hell, not blame your pleasure, be it ill or well.
Sonnet 59. If there be nothing new, but that which is hath been before, how are our brains beguiled, which labouring for invention bear amiss the second burden of a former child. Oh, that record could with a backward look, even of 500 courses of the sun, show me your image in some antique book, since mine at first in character was done, that I might see what the old world could say to this composed wonder of your frame, whether we are mended, or whether bettered they, or whether revolution be the same. Oh, sure I am, the wist of former days to subjects worse have given admiring praise.
Sonnet 60. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end, each changing place with that which goes before. In sequent toil all forwards do contend. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity, wherewith being crowned, crooked eclipses gains his glory fight, and time that gave doth now his gift confound. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, and delves the parallels in beauty's brow, feeds on the rarities of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for his scythe to mow. And yet to times in hope my verse shall stand, praising thy worth despite his cruel hand.
Sonnet 61. Is it thy will thy image should keep open my heavy eyelids to the weary night? Dost thou desire my slumber should be broken, while shadows like to thee do mock my sight? Is it thy spirit that thou send'st from thee, so far from home, into my deeds to pry, to find out shames and idle hours in me? The scope and tenor of thy jealousy? Oh no, thy love, though much, is not so great. It is my love that keeps mine eye awake, mine own true love, that doth my rest defeat, to play the watchman ever from thy sake. For thee watch I, whilst thou dost wake elsewhere, from me far off, with others all too near.
Sonnet 62. Sin of self-love possesseth all mine eye, and all my soul and all my every part, and for this sin there is no remedy. It is so grounded inward in my heart. Methinks no face so gracious is as mine, no shape so true, no truth of such account, and for myself mine own worth do define, as I all other in all worths surmount. But when my glass shows me myself indeed, beaded and chopped with tanned antiquity, mine own self-love quite contrary I read, self so self-loving were iniquity. 'Tis thee, myself, that for myself I praise, painting my age with beauty of thy days.
Sonnet 63. Against my love shall be as I am now, with time's injurious hand crushed and o'erworn. When hours have drained his blood and filled his brow with lines and wrinkles, when his youthful morn hath travelled on to age's steepy night, and all those beauties whereof now he is king are vanishing or banished out of sight, stealing away the treasure of his spring. For such a time do I now fortify against confounding age's cruel knife, that he shall never cut from memory. My sweet love's beauty, thou my lover's life, his beauty shall in these black lines be seen, and they shall live, and he in them is still green.
Sonnet 64. When I have seen by time's fell hand defaced the rich proud cost of outworn buried age, when sometime lofty towers I see down raised, and brass eternal slave to mortal rage, when I have seen the hungry ocean gain advantage on the kingdom of the shore, and the firm soil wind of the watery main, increasing store with loss and loss with store, when I have seen such interchange of state, or state itself confounded to decay, ruin hath taught me thus to ruminate, that time will come and take my love away. This thought is as a death, which cannot choose, but weep to have that which it fears to lose.
Sonnet 65. Since brass, nor stone, nor earth, nor boundless sea, but sad mortality oversways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea, whose action is not stronger than a flower? Oh, how shall summer's honey breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays? O fearful meditation, where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoiled of beauty can forbid? O none, unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright.
Sonnet 66. Tired with all these, for restful death I cry, as to behold desert a beggar born, and needing nothing trimmed in jollity, and purest faith unhappily forsworn, and gilded honour shamefully misplaced, and maiden virtue rudely trumpeted, and right perfection wrongfully disgraced, and strength by limping sway disabled, and art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly doctor-like controlling skill, and simple truth miscalled simplicity, and captive good attending captain ill. Tired with all these, from these would I be gone, save that, to die, I leave my love alone.